their hand over their heart. What do you feel? It's beating, which means you're alive, and you're here. But our body gives us a lot of clues about how we feel. Getting moving immediately starts to move energy in our body. So what did you feel after you just moved for a few seconds, heard some music? What was the feeling that was happening with you? Warm. Re-energized. Happy. Movement is the very first way, if you want to make a change, to just do something to move your body. We move for maybe 10 seconds, and immediately it starts to move energy in your body. And I found a lot of solace in movement as well. I struggled with losing weight for a long time, and I was married. And I was wondering, why can't I lose weight? And I kept trying and trying and trying, and nothing seemed to work. And I started digging into personal growth. And what I found was it's never about the weight. It's always about something greater than that. So I started digging into what that might be. And I realized that I had made a lot of choices throughout my life that weren't necessarily in alignment with who I was. When I was a little girl, I was taught to be really nice, have very good manners, and to not speak up if it wasn't something that was going to be accepted. So I was a very meek, very shy little girl. And when I was younger, I was bullied in school. And one day, the teacher gave me this task in class. And she told me that I was supposed to stand up at the front, hold the Canada flag while the O Canada anthem played. And I stood there so proud, just holding this Canada flag. And I also loved being at the front and being in front of the classroom because I wanted to be a teacher at such a young age. I loved being on the stage. And at recess, the students told me how stupid I looked. And my heart broke because I was so happy being there. Now, it was at that exact defining moment, and I think we all have these defining moments, whether they are in childhood or else throughout our life. Sometimes they're a defining experience. Sometimes they're just one fleeting moment, but they change who we are. And it was then I decided that, well, if I really love something, then that's probably not right, and it's probably not going to get me many friends. So I decided to do what I thought I should do to make everyone else happy, which is a lot of the stories I heard today as well. And how I should be. This went all the way on until I went into choosing my life. And I chose a man who was so good on paper. And I'm like, okay, checkbox, got that. Then I got a teaching job, perfect job, full-time position, benefits, everything. And in fact, I loved the job. Checkbox. Living the life felt lonely and sad. And I was like, I did everything I should have done that is supposed to bring me happiness. And that is not at all what I got. So started digging into personal growth. And eventually my marriage just blew up. And within a week, I didn't have a place to live. And my whole dreams have been shattered. And I didn't know what that meant for me, but I knew that I needed to do something. And I just started searching. And I made this list of like nothing was off limits. So going to any retreat I could, personal growth, even like angel cards, anyone I could talk to was all about the learning. And the other thing I committed to was watching people around me and seeing what they were doing, if they were happy, and if they were happy, what they were doing. And the honest truth is, I didn't find a lot of people who were genuinely happy. And I thought, if I'm going to get there, I've got to do something different. I still wanted to hold on to that dream of like getting married and having kids, looking for a man, if anyone knows of one. Someone who's crazy, passionate, and has big dreams. But so I just dug in and then started the journey. And I think a lot of people here are also on that similar journey where you're taking those steps to hopefully get more in alignment with your truth and who you truly are. And because of not finding a lot of people who were happy, and I knew I had to do something different, I found people like Marie Forleo, Oprah, Mastin Kipp, Tony Robbins, who were all about being your very best version, but then really stepping into that in a business. And I had never intended on running a business. I feel like the business chose me because I started seeing programs in my mind and developing them without even trying. It was just where I could create. So I created this business, and I realized that I was going to have to quit teaching if I was really going to make a go in the business. So after going to a wonderful retreat in Maui with Mastin Kipp, I came home and I told my family I'm quitting my job and I'm following my dreams. That's the most millennial statement you could possibly say. And I had a lot of resistance from everyone around me because not only I went through a life-changing divorce, but I had also been on sick leave living with my parents at 30 years old because I had a concussion. And there was a point where it was like, it's now or never. Either I do this or it's not happening. And so I got a job coaching CrossFit, and I also got my emotional intelligence certification. And I was like, these two things have to fit together: personal growth and movement. So started moving and in CrossFit, and what I noticed as I showed up day after day, I cared less about what was happening around me, and I started to notice this fire rising inside of me. And I was like, that's the feeling. That's what we're supposed to feel in life, is that fire inside. And I found it through movement. But I was wondering, how else could I feel this in my life? And I really want to share this with as many people as humanly possible, because I don't think it needs to be CrossFit. I think you can go out in nature and walk and feel how amazing it is and still feel that fire inside. So I started igniting the fire within and started coaching. And once you start a business, I think you realize how much that is actual personal growth in itself. Because if you're having to share about yourself, you're having to deal with your own stuff. You can't hide it from other people. So I was digging back, and one of the things, the quotes from Tony Robbins was, what if life was happening for you, not to you? So what I did is I went back in my life, and I started to look at all the things that was happening. Okay, I got bullied when I was young. All right, maybe there's some kind of lessons there. Maybe I'm supposed to be helping children. And because I'm a teacher by trade. And then looking at my divorce, the thing that completely shook me and changed me as a human being. And what could I learn out of that? And I think because I started watching other people and didn't find a lot of happiness, that maybe my journey was to dig in and look at what does happiness actually mean. But I couldn't use a model that was based on perfection because I mess up a lot. So it was the growth mindset, and they're talking a lot about it in schools now, is even if you make a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn. So taking every single mistake I had made and continue to make and keep learning from that in order to become my very best version. Our jobs are to be our very best version. I've heard that in just about every presentation today, which is amazing. Challenging to get there when we hear voices of things all around, of people all around us that validate that we should be doing something else. I had a yoga teacher told me one time, take should out of your vocabulary forever. So I was working on who I was being. Now, who you are being is more important than anything you are doing. I wish someone would have told my younger bullied self that, because I didn't even know how to not be a victim, never mind empower myself to not be in that victim mode all the time. And that by discovering things about myself, it would naturally build confidence, because we are all wonderful who we are naturally. So the self-discovery happen after 30 years old. And I love sharing it with people because it is so cool to think about who are you actually being in this world and the energy you're carrying as you walk into a room. One of the most helpful tools that I received was an I am statement. Louise Hay talks a lot about that. And my statement is, I am powerful. Because I will get into situations where I will want to go back into that weak person, but I need to step into that being powerful. And what I would like you to do right now is to think about if you could choose a really powerful I am statement of who you would be if you really stepped into your authentic self, what would that be? What are examples of words that might be who you are being that would be helpful?
I am strong.
I am strong. What else?
I am healthy.
Good. Powerful. Creative. Survivor. Wise. Awesome. So you totally got it. We got the right crowd for this. Who we are being. Now, this word needs to challenge you to step more into that full version. And it should feel exciting, but also a little bit scary at the same time because maybe you're not fully there yet. So I am powerful. I got my I am statement 5 years ago. I still use it every single time. I'm sitting in that chair waiting to come on stage. All I say in my head is, I am powerful, I am powerful, I am powerful. Because who I am being is more important than anything I'm saying. Because we're in a room of people who want to step into their full version of who they are being in this world. So using our life as learning, stepping into who we are being, and just being that in the very best way possible. Could I have everyone stand up again, please? So put your hand up if you think of an I am statement that you have. If you don't, I want you just to guess at a word that makes you feel good. It doesn't have to be exactly right now. But what I want to do is we're all going to say our I am statement at the same time. It's about who you are being. And what I want to do is just actually create an energy field of people who are stepping into who they are being. Did you have a question? No? Okay. All right. So mine is I am powerful. Does everyone have one that they can say that makes them feel okay? Put your hand up if that is. Okay. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and we're all going to say it together. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I am powerful. I don't believe you. Let's try this again. I want you to believe in your soul that who you are being right now fires you up to go out there, leave this space, and become who you truly want to be. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I am powerful! Okay. Can we do this with using your arms, like it's really happening? Okay. This time we're going to try again. And we're going to say it at the top of our lungs. We are not worried about the people around us. We are not worrying about if it's perfect or not. We are just being whatever we need to be in that present moment. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am powerful! Awesome! That was awesome. I actually believed you for the first one, but I wanted to do it a couple times. Who we are being is more important than anything we are doing, saying, because it means that we don't have to be perfect. It means that we get to continue to keep learning as we move through our journey. And it means that we get to go out and live the life exactly that we want to live. One of the best things that I've ever learned was to take ownership for my life experience and that I only have control over myself. It took me a lot of years to really understand what that meant. It took me a lot of years to understand what it meant not to be a victim, to take ownership, to not be like a persecutor, to be like the person who was telling people what to do in the business, because who likes being told what to do? Yeah, nobody. And that if I created a space where people could walk through their own answers, that is where true empowerment really lies. So I challenge you to take those steps outside your comfort zone, step into the truth of who you are, and move that body and ignite the fire within. Thank you.